good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever the time of the day that it is, wherever you are, welcome. Welcome to the talk of the town, Poetry Slam. My name is the Prophet, the Word Prophet, Julian the Word Prophet. I'm your host, I'm the creator, and I wrote everything that you hear me recite on this channel. Come on, y'all, let's kick this thing off and get to spitting some poetry. The title of this first one is Stop the Madness, Stop the Madness. You know, it's about what's going on in the world today and all this craziness, we gotta stop this, We gotta stop the madness, because it's just too much of it going on. God put us down here, He said to be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. He did not say anything about hatred, killing one another, or anything like that, so we must stop it. We must stop this madness. And so it goes like this. We have to stop this madness right now today. For there has got to be a better way. Evil is up and down every street and around every corner. If we don't stop this madness, we all may be a goner. Parents supposed to nurture their children through love and fill them up with faith from above. Guns, drugs, and violence on the scene are killing our children, yes, and you and me. Chaos in our schools with a bad disposition, choking our children's education straight into submission. Murder and mayhem stays on the street, not trying to trust anyone we see or meet. Is this how we want it to be each and every day? It's a wonder we haven't blown ourselves away. It's time to stop this madness so we can survive and stop all the scandals, nonsense, and lies. Mothers, fathers, and parents too, are you doing all that you can do to make sure your children don't wind up on the news? It's time for us to come around before this madness puts all of us 6 feet underground. We have to stop this madness before it's too late, so we won't wind up in the fiery lake. People running into your house with guns blazing, killing everyone in sight. Isn't that crazy? Is that okay with us today? We better do something because it won't just go away. Politicians making decisions, do you think they have our best interests in heart? For they really haven't done much for us right from the start. We better stop this madness from going down before we find all of us 6 feet underground. We must unite and fight the powers that be. For how else will we keep our sanity? We've just got to stop the madness. We have got to stop the madness. Now this second one here is titled Purpose Passion. Purposed passion, which is really passion with a purpose. You see, I'm a humanitarian, and I love every people. But there's a lot of people that make it very hard to love them, and all of us know that. Very hard. We can tell about what's going on in the world today. It is just so much hatred. That's why I talk about this all the time. We got to come around to what's right and stay away from what's wrong. So we can have a wonderful life here and live long. That's what God wants for us. That's what I want for me and my family. Don't you want that for you and your family? So I wrote this, and it's titled Purpose Passion. And it goes like this. Passion with a purpose is what's on my mind. To alleviate this stress we have had for a long, long time. It was put here through corruption and deception indeed. That was forced on the backs of both you and me. It's time to change this evil game and stop this place from going straight down the drain. We have to take it in our hands, both you and me, mold it and shape it is what's needed indeed. We can't depend on politics, that's a game of deception. When you ask them what happened, they say they have no recollection. The time is now to stop this evil game before the whole country winds up broken and lame. It's a shame we have to go through these games And today this country is just not the same. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But the sad thing about it, the people just won't. They won't stick together to get anything done. That's why we're divided and conquered and cannot work as one. Today is a day to get on the move indeed. Because tomorrow isn't promised to you or to me. Purpose, passion, passion with a purpose. The title of this next one is Promises, Promises. Promises, Promises. We all make promises at one time or another, right? Am I right? But do we keep all the promises we make? Now that is something to think about. So I wrote this poem, Promises, Promises, to give people something to think about. And maybe when we open our mouth to make a promise, maybe we should keep it. Because it can lead to a whole lot of trouble. It can lead to hatred. You know? It can lead to fights. Come on, y'all, let's get ourselves together. So it goes like this. Promises, promises is what people give, but then turn around and won't let people live. I love you, my darling, is what we say, but then love someone else in a freaky sort of way. We work all day long to make our money, then blow it on drinking and drugs, which isn't funny. Rent is due, gas and electric too, but we blew the money, what we gonna do? We promised to stop, but then we didn't. Lies, lies, lies. Is there no limit? Promises, promises, we all give some, then mess up things and act like we're dumb. You said you'd be with me through the thick and the thin. When I needed you, you were not in. Promises, promises, they all turned out to be lies. Why do I always believe that jive? Then I heard a voice that said, listen to me, I'll make you a promise that will set you free. My name is Jesus, I'm the Lord of all. If you follow me, you'll never ever fall. I turned to see what I could see, and there was the King looking straight at me. All glory and power with radiant light was standing in front of me, right in my sight. I fell to the ground to bow down, but he lifted me up and gave me a crown. Man is weak and limited too, but I came down here just to speak to you. I'll give you a promise that's full of grace. I'll help you through this worrisome place. Listen to my word and keep it within. I'll be with you even until the end. My promise is true, I'll never leave you. I'm with you today, I'll be with you always. I am that I am, the Ancient of Days, the giver of life, I'll be with you always. Now that's a promise that has always been kept. Promises, promises. If you get them from God, you can believe he's going to keep them, because God is a keeper. Now this next one is titled, The Diagnosis is Sin. The Diagnosis is Sin. And the title explains itself. It explains the whole poem. The diagnosis is sin. And it goes like this. We started out as Adam at the beginning of time. God gave us Eve, and that blew our mind. We started doing things God told us not to do and got kicked out of the garden. Our time there was through. That was the beginning of our sinful ways. We got in so much trouble we had hell to pay. Lust, greed, and jealousy too are just a few things sin has put all of us through. We started swimming in crud, eyes deep in mud. Before we knew it, we were in the muck and mire flood. Noah was there to show us the way, but could only save a few for another day. So we were given another chance to get this thing right. You would think we would put up a better fight. Some did right, but others did wrong. I'm so glad God's patience is eternally strong. He sent us prophets to show us the way, but they were all killed for what they had to say. Sin is something you can't deal with by yourself. Yes, Lord, we need God on our side for some serious help. Judges, kings, and pharaohs too. A man named Abraham, whose heart was true. God used them all to show us his way, to bring us into his grace and glory for a bigger and brighter day. But our heads were hard, which gave us scars, and that put a lot of us under the sod. But God loved us so he didn't want us to die. So he came up with a way to keep us all alive. He sent his son who overflowed with grace to spread forgiveness all over this place. His son is the word, faithful and true, sent to bring grace to all of us too. So he spread the good news all over this land. You would think by now that we will all understand. For the ones who were lost, he went up on the cross. He gave his life for free to save you and me. This is the love of legends told throughout the ages. He's our strong tower, as told through the Bible pages. The moral of this story I have to tell: be one with God or rest in hell. The diagnosis is sin. Now this next one is titled Murder, Sex, and Politics. I think this title speaks for itself too. I think it does. I think it tells you about the porn. Because that's what we're into, and that's what we do. And it reads like this: murder, sex, and politics is our way today. But why do we have to be that way? Are we lost and our children are too? I'm so glad it's the Lord that pulls us through. Why do we always keep evil in mind, then lie about it time after time? We better stop sinning and playing around before the whole inhabited earth comes tumbling down. The Lord said he'd be back with fire the next time, so why are we acting crazy and walking around blind? Can't we understand fire may be on the Lord's mind? There's another thing I can't understand. Why is greed so much in demand? This can lead to nothing but devastation that will mess up any and all good situations. There's a time for this and there's a time for that. But you can still wind up in hell. Yes, we can, as a matter of fact. Are you in it for the goodies or to follow the Lord? Why don't you think about it before he closes all doors? Do things right or do them wrong? We'll choose for us to whom and where we belong. Murder, sex, and politics. Better watch out, I'm telling you. Now this next one is titled No Ordinary Love, No Ordinary Love. This is a love poem, but it's all about God. Because he's the only one with no ordinary love. Because his love pervades everything over the whole world. I mean, a lot of times down here we love, but a whole lot of times the love that we have will turn straight into hate. How can you have love that turns into hate? People. That's people. That's people. The title of this is No Ordinary Love, and it goes like this. This love came down from God above and fills our cups with no ordinary love. This love died for us to pay a ransom he did not owe, to set us free from sin and save our souls. No ordinary love has freed us all from sin, from all the problems and trouble we get ourselves in. Though mountains we may face, trials and tribulations too, no ordinary love has always been there to bring us through. No ordinary love gave his life for free to bring us back to God, where we all should be. True love is missing because of our greed and sin, which has left us primed for hatred from deep within. Look at people's faces and then you'll see all the hatred and greed that fills you and me. We bring this on ourselves, yes we do, through the hardening of our hearts, through and through. Turn back to Christ is my advice, so no ordinary love can bring an end to suffering and strife. No ordinary love, no ordinary love. Now my last one for the day is my soul is troubled by this world today. My soul is troubled by this world today. I've told you before that I'm a humanitarian, and I truly am. You know, a humanitarian who loves the Lord. Yes, I do. And I try my best to follow His word each and every day. I mess up. Yes, I do. I mess up a lot. You know, but I don't go out there trying to mess up. I don't do that. I try to do it the right way. The way that the Bible said do it, not the way that I said do it. The way that the Bible said do it, because I try to walk the walk that Jesus walked. It's not an easy walk, but it's more than worth it. I'm telling you that right now. So the title of this is My Soul is Troubled by This World Today. And it goes like this. My soul is troubled by this world today. People seem to be satisfied with not living in the Lord's holy way. Today anything goes, whatever you choose to do, as long as it's wrong and feels good to you. If you do things right, you'll be asking for a fight. That's because people's hearts are colder than ice. No one wants to care for anyone else. Everyone cares only for his or herself. And that will send us all through hell. The Lord's way is truly the only way to go. Anything else, and you may sacrifice your soul straight to the pit of hell. Can't we understand that there's a plan, that none of this is truly in our hands? The only thing we can do is choose right or wrong, which will choose for us where and to whom we belong. There's a price for doing wrong and for doing right. That will lead to hell or heavenly paradise. If there's a hell below, many of us may go. That's payment for the sacrificing of your soul. My soul is troubled by this world today. Why do so many of us refuse to follow God's holy way? Why? That's why my soul is troubled by this world today. And yours should be too. If no one has told you that they love you today, I do. I love you. And may God bless you all. That's all, folks.